everyone, how goes it? My name is Maxwell, and yes, I did go to school here for all 4 years. So if you don't know who I am, or you've never seen me before, chances are you're popular. And if you not only know who I am, but you're also friends with me, you probably did marching band here. As you can tell, I've really branched out socially during my time here at Wakefield. But in retrospect, I think I've made as many friends as a guy can make in high school without having a Facebook profile or a cell phone or a car or any discernible attractive qualities. Who's going to a college next year? Who's going? Just shout out where you're going. Just shout it out. University of North Carolina. I'm excited about college, but college also has me nervous because in high school I've pretty much been spoiled. In high school I got to choose my classes. I had the choices between academic classes, honors classes, and then there were the AP classes. And I understood that the AP classes were going to have more work and they were going to be tough because they were the classes that were taught on the college level. And I understood that if I took these classes, I was going to have to put in a lot more effort because these classes were taught on a college level. Now I'm going to a place where whether I like it or not, everything is taught on a college level. It's like I have an entire schedule of AP classes. It's going to be like junior year all over again. Only with
oh my God.
I submit that junior year is the hardest year of high school because junior year is when your workload gets heavy. That's when you get a lot of stuff dumped on top of you. Junior year is when you start getting a lot of work. Senior year, you get just as much work, you just don't do it. Junior year, you're like, oh man, I have an entire chapter to read by tomorrow. And then you stay up all night and you read it. Senior year, you're like, I have an entire chapter to read by tomorrow. But the new episode of Glee comes on tonight.
I watch Glee, bro. I'll watch Glee.
I'm gonna bleed up good. Is it just me, or is root beer the tastiest drink on earth?
It's just me.
Yeah, I don't have any jokes about root beer. I just wanted to share my feelings with you. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
Real quick, on the topic of career choices and jobs, if you find yourself in a leadership position that's constantly changing hands, you're like either manager of a fast food joint, president of an African nation, or you're the principal of Wakefield High School. We've been here for 4 years, we've had 3 principals. Is Mr. Creighton in here?
Yeah, he just walked in.
You should enjoy your job, sir. Enjoy it. You have been the principal of Wakefield High School for an entire semester. Which on average means you have roughly 2 years left. He's a good sport. Who's going into the military next year or is planning to go into any branch of the military? Stand up. Stand up.
I ain't standing up. Stand up, nigga.
Stand up, Bryce.
You a bitch? Nah. I'm just right now. Put my hand up.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that last one. I just wanna thank you guys because you guys are doing something that seriously I could never do. You guys are willing to risk yourselves for our country. You guys are protecting our liberties. You are defending our rights. And it's because people like you are willing to take risks like this, the rest of us can continue doing things that we enjoy, like blowing off our homework to watch Glee. Your bravery gives us the freedom to procrastinate. And let's face it, procrastination is about as American as it gets. Did you guys take the ASVAB? I I took the ASVAB. For those of you that don't know what the ASVAB is, it's an aptitude test to see how well you would do in the military, how well you would adjust to military life. It's the ASVAB, the ASVAB. The Armed Services, that's where they got the V from. They just pulled it right out of the word, right out of the middle of the word. I don't know if that breaks the rules of acronyms or not, but that's what they did. It's the Armed Services Aptitude, and then the V stands for something. And the way the ASVAB works is it gives you a rating of 1 to 100 to see how well you would do in military life. So if you get a 100 on the ASVAB, that means you're like the ultimate soldier. You get a 100, that means we can put you in a combat zone by yourself with 100 hostile enemies, and you will be able to kill 60 of them. Get shot, and then kill the other 40. That's what getting a 100 on the other end of the spectrum, getting a 1 on the ASVAB means you're not fit for military life at all. Getting a 1 on the ASVAB means you go to boot camp and you can't see anybody because they're all wearing camouflage. The sergeant will be right at your face screaming at you. You'll have no clue where that voice is coming from. You'll say, "Drop it, give me 20," and you'll just be like, "God, you asked me to do the strangest things." The ASVAB is without a doubt the most intimidating test I've ever taken. Out of all the EOCs, all the AP exams, the SAT, the ASVAB is the most intimidating test I've ever taken. And not because the questions were hard, it was intimidating mostly because the entire time I'm taking this test, there's a Marine pacing the room in full uniform. The dude's carrying a gun and a sword. To this day, I have no clue what he would have done if he actually caught somebody cheating. Alright guys, that's all I have. Before I go, there's just two groups of people I want to address real quick before I finish up. The first group of people is to everyone that went to the same middle school as me, and then ever since we've gotten here, we haven't said one word to each other. There's like, really? There's like 20 of you. You've gone to the same middle school as me, and we haven't said one word to each other since we've gotten here. I just want to say, hi. I didn't want to graduate without saying something to you, so how goes it? Hey.
What middle school you go to?
The second group of people I want to address, to everyone who at any point in time picked your nose in high school and thought that you got away with it or that nobody saw you, I just want to let you know, we all saw you. We all saw you. We all saw you, and you were pretty good at it. If you did not do that in college, it would be great. That's all I have. I hope the next 4 years are better than your last, and that's not saying